From the subreddit AskMen. When was the first time you were directly told to treat women/girls differently? I remember my sister, who is 4 years older than me and was like twice my size at the time, shoving me and me falling down. Then I got up and pushed her and my parents flipped out and made it abundantly clear that hitting girls is unacceptable even if they hit you first. With sexism being a learned behavior, I wonder how much this affected my view of girls then onward. I've been told not to hit a woman ever since I can remember, but I believe in defending yourself. My ex-stepmother was freaking out one day about some nonsense and eventually it led to her pushing me. So like most people would do, I pushed her back. Then she proceeded to run at me, swinging her fist and scratching me, etc. I initially just put my arms up to block my face, but when she didn't stop I gave her a couple bops on the nose and got her off of me and drew some blood. And that's where it ended. I think there is a big difference between hitting a woman for the sake of doing it and hitting a woman to defend yourself, and a lot of people don't understand that. My stepmother wanted to play a stupid game and she won a stupid prize. When I was 5, I hit my crush, because I had no other way of telling her I liked her, a common mistake with boys. I was told to protect the small and the weak, especially when they are girls. That was confusing, because she was a head taller than me and also a lot stronger. Nevertheless, it worked out fine for a few years. Several months later, I was told it was not okay to hit first, but it was okay to hit back. Some girls in high school learned the hard way and never forgot that rule. My 4th 10-yo class teacher was grading the girls higher in tests. We'd compare results of spelling tests and a boy would have 8 spelling out of 10 right and only get 68%. A girl would have 5 out of 10 right and somehow get 80%. When we all figured it out, a few of the girls complained too. When I was a kid, my mom specifically instructed me to hit a girl if she hit me first. The last time I was told to treat women differently was in BJJ. You roll lighter with women because of the physiological advantages you have as a guy. To be fair, we go lighter on people way smaller than us too. I got a different version. If someone is smaller and or less physically capable than you, don't hurt them more than they could hurt you. I think it is saying what those that say don't hit women are trying to say, but just the important bit. It also covers kids. Some women are stronger or equal to me in strength. Some men are smaller or weaker than me in strength. It is generally poor form to punch down. I grew up in a house of only one male adult. My father. Then there was my mom, grandma, 3 sisters, 1 younger brother. I was the next youngest. All of my sisters were 8+ years older than I. I distinctly remember when I was real young, maybe 2nd, 3rd grade. I said something lewd and extremely explicit to a girl classmate. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was along the lines of wanting to get naked and touch each other's privates. My father responded to the news by hitting me with a metal spatula until I was blue. This was after my mother gave me a very stern talk about what was wrong with what I said. After my mom divorced him, she remarried a much better partner and I grew up with a fear of talking to women. And as an adult I developed a fetish for being hit by my female partners. The earliest example I can remember is when a girl kept slapping TF out of my back on the playground in elementary school, so I gave her a big shove. She started damseling and some nitwit teacher who witnessed the entire thing griped me out over it. She outright said boys aren't allowed to hit girls. There's no need for a double standard. One standard will do just fine. My father always used to tell me not to hit or do anything to my sister. I recall a similar circumstance, where I was sitting in the doorway of our house and she was pushing the door closed and open, hitting me each time. I pushed her and I got in trouble. My sister never took advantage of it after that, but I can understand how someone who did take advantage of it would lead you to be resentful. The reality is that the average male is significantly stronger than the average female, so what seems like equal retaliation might not be. Never. I was always told to treat everyone the way I would want to be treated. With kindness and respect, regardless of who they are or where they come from. And if they aren't nice people, still show them kindness and respect, or don't associate with them. There's no good excuse to do otherwise. I think it was a similar situation to you. I got in an argument with a girl, at like 8 or so, she slapped me, so I slapped her back. Interestingly, this caused a disagreement in my household. My dad said I should have walked away. You don't hit girls. My mom said WTF, anyone hits you, you demonstrate why they can't be hitting folks. That's how you make sure they don't do that again. It is only years later that I realized that the reason for these different opinions are the fact that my dad is a 6 feet 5 inches, 270 pounds dark-skinned muscular black man, and my mom is about 5 feet 2 inches, extremely light-skinned woman, and weighs about 115 soaking wet. Not only is his hitting likely to cause greater damage than hers ever would, folks are much more likely to not care who the aggressor is when someone like him throws a punch where we live. She was correct, he was practical. My sister tried to fight me and I'm rooting my own horn here. I kicked her ass. My mom screamed at me that if I ever hit any woman again she'll kick me out of the house because you can't hit women for any reason. Most of these stories are about siblings. I don't think that really fits to that question. Age counts more than gender there and siblings hit each other. I would tell them to do different, but I think it's a part of growing up. Never. My mother taught me not to be a misogynist piece of shit. She taught me that I am not better than any female just because I am male. She is my equal. So if she takes the initiative to throw hands because she wants to fight like a man, then I show her the respect she deserves and fight her like a man. I was like 7. This girl named Ashley fell on the swing or something. She started crying. I literally didn't know what to do, so I walked away. We were at a barbecue, so all the grown-ups started laughing at my action. But I noticed that she got treated with kid gloves. My dad would have been like, "Get up," or "Are you alright?" I can't say I was specifically told. It was just implied in the culture in which I was raised. Small town America in the 80s. Most of the traditional gender roles were observed, with a few exceptions. I was expected to be a man and fulfill that masculine role. Or be seen as lesser. Not passing judgment, just the way it was for me. My ex slapped me around one night when I found out she was cheating on me. I almost got in serious trouble with the police because I grabbed her wrist to stop her from hitting me and left a mark because I grabbed her so hard. That one really fucked me up. Well, I went to Catholic school, so from a very early age it was readily apparent girls only existed to have babies and make dinner. Seriously glad I didn't believe that disgusting shit then, and damn sure don't now. I've always treated women differently than men. I'd be careful about their feelings, I'd walk on eggshells not to offend them, I'd patiently do everything to satisfy them in bed. Well, didn't sleep with men, THX for asking. There's even a GF of mine who would slap me every time I'd say something even slightly offensive, say, a joke. I started slapping her back, and, lo and behold, she stopped slapping me. Bottom line, to be treated as an equal by women, treat them as an equal. Treat them as you would treat a male friend. If you put them on a pedestal, they'll end up taking advantage of you. Consider the lesson your sister learned from that same encounter. I remember the same age. I never started fights, it was my older sister who always did it. And I was the only one who got punished, for something I didn't do. But it taught me an important lesson: all the world will be my enemy. When I was told they were weaker and I indeed sprained and bruised my playmates, I took it to heart. Played softer, always let them win. Made them really bad at spotting lies though. I grew up with 2 sisters, and one was a martial arts national champ and the other a vindictive youngest who would bite through your flesh or carry shivs and wrote death threats regularly, so my sympathy is rather bare after seeing the potential of women in both good and bad. I don't think I was ever told, it was implied. But I tend to treat both the same. Which isn't really good for attracting a significant other, man shrugging. I've been told not to hit women since I was little, but after some of the shit I've seen and been involved in, my hands have came out as bisexual. I was kicked in the testicles in 4th grade by a girl. I did not hit her. I told the female teacher watching us on the playground. She didn't believe me. I later acted out in some fashion because the same girl was bothering me again. They chalked it up to her having a crush on me. I ended up getting in trouble for acting out. The girl of course had 0 consequences. I lost faith in talking to most adults about anything. Women of any age get away with so much. My sister told me to not hit girls at the age of 7. I responded with, "Why should I treat anyone differently?" Her reply, "Because it's a girl." What a bunch of shit. I remember one time at the park when I was a kid with my female cousins, I told them I would never hit girls. My mom taught me never hit a female cause men are stronger. They decided they wanted to test that, so they proceeded to hit me and pull me and stuff. I distinct remember getting super annoyed but didn't do anything. We were kids, so it doesn't bother me really, but back then I really wanted to hit back lol. Since I can remember. From parents, grandparents, in school. Yes, it very much skewed my perception. Never, I think, very easy when you don't have any girls in your family and you go to a guys only high school. As a child. And I was also a girl. I only ever fought boys, because girls were off limits. Your parents were wrong though. I don't remember when, but I was definitely taught the same. I never understood it because I knew a couple girls who threw punches, and if some girl was going to punch me in the face then I should be able to punch back.